what is your team's social justice demonstration plan for Sunday?
Yeah, we've had these conversations. I'm really proud of our team, Vic. Obviously, you saw the plan of Houston and Kansas City last night. We've had those critical conversations over the course of a couple of weeks, the last couple of weeks. Really proud of the players and the decisions that they are formulating. And, I would just say I'm most proud of the fact that the action that's being taken at the player level, at the club level, within our organization to do some of the things that we've set out to do in a positive way, impacting our community, namely with offering or trying to provide internet access to many children in the Buffalo area that have not had internet access, so they can attend school virtually, among other things, and then awareness around the census situation in our community, as well as voter registration. So 3 things that our players outlined that were very important to them, and I think it's tremendous that they are following through, as well as the organization is following through in that regard.
As a follow-up, do you anticipate on Sunday anything like we saw last night, where both teams joined locked arms at midfield back on, I think it was September 24th, 2017, before you played Denver? There was an arm locking in front of your sideline, or on your sideline. Do you foresee something like that? Is something like that planned? Anything?
Yeah. So I usually meet with the captains every week, and we'll talk about that as we move forward here into the the day or two leading up to the game, as we are. But nothing at this point. But that does not mean that that's going to stay that way. So at this point, all good conversations and all heading in the right direction.
Thank you, Sean.
Yep, sure, Vic.
Hey, Sean, John Scott, good morning.
Good morning.
See if you had an update on Josh Norman's status and maybe any other injuries, if you could please touch on those.
Yeah, just really Josh. Josh is not going to practice today. Everybody else is in a pretty good position as we move forward.
And would that mean then the potential of calling someone up from the practice squad, Cam Lewis, Dane Jackson, if he cannot go? Is that a route that you would explore?
Yeah, we'll see. Brandon and I will talk about it later today as we get through practice, John, and reassess where we are.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi, Coach. Sal here. Good to see you.
You too, Sal.
We talked a lot about, not knowing the opponent, and there's no preseason and things like this. How about individual players, rookies, guys like, I'll just use like Denzel Mims, for example. You haven't had any tape on him at the NFL level. What's the challenge in that, and your coaching staff and players, the individual players on the other team that you haven't really had a chance to see through the preseason yet?
Yeah, we've got to do our diligence in terms of researching the players that are coming from college that we have not seen to the best of our ability. So we've got a lot of respect for them, the talent that they have. Denzel Mims being one of them, but they've got a talented roster. As I mentioned the other day, I thought Joe Douglas does a great job in our league, and so we have a lot of respect for them.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, back-to-back sales here. Hope you can handle that. Talk about, if you could, we discussed earlier, maybe a few weeks ago, about, the uncertainty going into a season where you had no training camp really, or OTAs, that type of thing. Is there a concern? It didn't seem to affect the Chiefs, but the timing and all the things that go into a game with so little practice, is there still a concern or a wonder about how that's going to go?
Yeah, I don't think you focus at this point in particular on what you haven't been able to control or what you've missed, but really try and focus on what we can control and the time that we do have. And I think we've done a good job of that from the start of camp to now, Sal. And there's certainly a lot of unknowns every year, in particular this year. So, what do you hold on to? You hold on to the things that you believe in. You hold on to your fundamentals, so on and so forth. So I think just philosophically, it's what it boils down to.
And if I could ask you, Jamison Crowder pretty much killed you guys last year, 22 catches. How do you control him or prevent that from happening again this year?
Yeah, we know he's a very talented receiver, and has seemed to have a good rapport with the quarterback and Darnold, and so it'll be a big challenge for our defense. And we've got to make sure we're up for the challenge, and we've had a good week of practice to this point. We've got to finish it off today.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, I know it's been such a small window with a short training camp, no spring workouts, anything like that. But I wonder what type of growth you have seen from Ed Oliver on the field now as he's about to go on to a bigger role this year, likely for you guys in 2020.
Yeah, Joe, he's done a nice job. Again, another year of maturity, another year of understanding in our system and understanding how we do things here. I've been very encouraged and happy with the camp that he's had to this point. The important thing is that he continues to grow. We've heard me talk a lot about that here in terms of his development, and that we do our part as coaches to develop him both on and off the field. And he is an important piece to our defensive puzzle.
Well, and one other question: what have you seen from AJ Epinesa? I know Leslie talked about how it took him a minute to get acclimated within your defense, but that he's progressed. So where has it gone for him, and what has the progress he's made through the last few weeks that he's been in Buffalo?
He's done a good job, and sometimes it takes some time. And as you mentioned, we've had the short run up. So for all the rookies that haven't had the spring, the 10 or so weeks in the spring, it is what it is. But he's focused right now on growing every day, and I think he continues to get a better understanding every day of what we're looking for as a defense, what we're looking for in particular at that position along the defensive line, and that's only going to serve him well as he moves forward.
Thanks.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Matt Fairburn here. I'm curious. It seems like uncertainty has kind of been the buzzword for a lot of questions and things surrounding the team. Just leading into a season like this one, and I know you're always paying attention to what's going on around the league. What did you maybe learn or take away from the game last night, seeing a game happen in this environment and in this season? That what'd you learn watching that game?
Well, I didn't watch the whole game, but I did watch a couple quarters there early on, and as coaches, we get so busy with our own process and what's going on underneath of our noses that we don't have a lot of time to connect during the training camp weeks and days. So it was interesting to see, turn on another team and say, oh yeah, okay, everyone is doing it kind of like we're doing it. And so I guess it's more solidifying things in terms of some of the things that we've been doing. That everyone else is in fact doing the same thing. So just interesting to see how different parts of the world are living.
Yeah.
I guess, but I think it was also good. I think we all have to be honest. It was also good just to get back to some normalcy, right? Of watching football on TV. And that's one of the great things about our country, man, is this is such a sport, or a popular sport in our country. It means so much to the people of this country and outside of our country, to be honest with you. And just refreshing, and I think a great thing for mental health around our country and the world.
Well, what are you heading into this weekend? How is your routine as a team? Is it been altered in any way in terms of like guys, staying at the hotel, or is there anything that's different? How are you trying to keep it, I guess, as normal as possible with the, hoops you have to jump through?
Yeah, that's I give a lot of the credit to the staff around me for organizing those things, the different hoops we have to jump through, the layers that we have to work through. Just trying to minimize as much as we can in terms of what's on the players, but also make sure we're following through as well with the different protocols and whatnot to execute at a high level.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Jay with the Buffalo News. What did you make of the game last night? Before the game, of course, the moment of unity when both teams came together. Just kind of what was going through your mind when you watched that?
Yeah, I thought it was great to see that everyone's together on this, and I thought very well thought out, and good to see the coaches out there and the staffs as well joining with the players. It's an interesting time because you spend all week trying to beat one another, and to have that opportunity to do that, just from a mental shift standpoint, is not easy. I can tell you that as a competitor. But in this case, was good to watch.